Peace. What's going on, family? This is your boy Solar Mana Solar Vision Debate League. Shout out to the family. When you come in the building, hit the like button. Hit the like button when you come in the building. I am here live with Brother Mikhail. And this pause means that he's by himself. Because he was supposed to be debating Bilal Ali tonight. But Bilal Ali is missing in action. So if you've seen his whereabouts, please call the Solar Vision Debate League. Now, I don't know what's going on with Muslims and this brother Mikhail, but it seems as if the Muslims are running from this man. I'm just saying. That's what it seemed like. That's what it seemed like. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's just what it seemed like. So what the brother is going to do today is he's going to do his presentation, and then, what I'm saying, we're going to, what's up?
You not live, bro. You got to say all that over.
It's people saying stuff in the chat room. We're live, brother. We're on the OBS, so I'm not live on the actual Hangout. We're live, brother. There's 19 people watching this so far. We're good. Yeah, so, that, see, that right there shows you didn't debate in a while, bro. Yeah, after that, we're gonna,
Yeah, my bad.
We gotta release the hounds of my man. You gotta
release the hounds.
I don't know, man. Brother Mikhail's a veteran at this, man. Brother Mikhail's a veteran, so he's ready for you guys, man. He's ready for you guys. Well, Captain Tazaria, shout out to Captain Tazaria. It was supposed to be a debate between a Muslim, Bilal Ali, and Brother Mikhail. But Bilal Ali is on the run. We may have to put him on the back of the milk carton. We may have to put him on the back of the milk carton. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. But Yakim the Submitter did step up to the plate. Yakim the Submitter did step up to the plate. He's a candidate for Iron Man of the Year. So, we're going to try to set up a debate sometime next week. I think they agreed on next Thursday, Brother Mikhail and Brother Yakim. You talking about shit. Brother Mikhail and Brother Yakim the Submitter for next Thursday. They got to agree on a topic. So the date is already set. So, be on the lookout for that. That'll be next week, hopefully, if they could agree on the title. I may try to set up, since Captain Tazaria threw it out there, Imam Bashir and Mikhail. That would be a good one. Imam Bashir and Brother Mikhail. Shout out to Minister Howe. Minister Howe's in the building. Just to let y'all guys know, here's the well, not the updated standings, because actually Mikhail did get a win by this no call, no show. So you got a couple of people that's in the mix right here. And if you got a star beside your name, that means you are in the postseason. So we gotta get another debate with you, Minister Howe. You gotta set up another debate. G-Con, you may have one. You may have one. I'm not sure. You gotta look at the schedule. But that's Gorilla Hebrew, Anonymous Hebrew, Out the Blue, and Rob Rack. Those are the 4 people. So it's 12 slots left. So it's all good. It's 12 slots left. It's about 30 teams. So half of you motherfuckers ain't gonna make it. Sorry. This is not your season, buddy. Maybe next year. You know? Maybe next year. Step your game up. Get a little bit of, study under your belt. We'll be still doing little debates going into the off season and all that, but maybe next year. And then you got some guys that just came into the league, so maybe next year for you too. Yeah, we'll get you going, Minister Howard, with somebody. And just to let you guys know, these are the finalists for Solar Vision Debate League Most Valuable Participant. Here you go right here, family. We got G-Con, Gorilla Hebrew, Brother Out the Blue, Minister Howe, and Brother Rob Razak. There you go, family. And also, we're going to have a playoff MVP too. So, obviously, that's going to go most likely to the champion. So, there will be 2 awards most likely going to the person that actually wins the whole thing. And I want to show y'all the trophies, but I'm gonna wait for them to come into the mail. I want to literally show it to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I want to literally show y'all the trophies. So I'm gonna save that. And then the MVP trophy too is pretty fly too. So, with that being said, what's going on, Brother Mikhail? Mikhail, are you there, brother?
Shalom, Solar. What's up with you, my bro?
We're cooling right now. We just we're waiting on you to drop your science, brother.
That's what's up. Okay, first and foremost, I'd like to give all honors to the Elohim, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know what I'm saying? In the name of his son, Jesus Christ, our high priest and Mashiach. And, unfortunately, the debate didn't go down tonight as planned. I was really looking forward to it. We've been trying to debate this. Me and his brother been trying to hook up a debate for about, 3 weeks now or something like that. And things keep happening. The first time it was on my behalf. I couldn't make it at the last minute. So that's how I got that bogus L y'all see on there. It's a technicality. And I haven't gotten one, humbly speaking, from a person, but it came due to my own technicality. And then I guess, for whatever reason, the brother didn't show up tonight. So basically, we got to fill some airspace. I'm not going to put out everything out there. I was going to put it out because I'm not quite sure what me and the brother Yakim, shout out to him, for picking up my other debate for next week that I had scheduled. And that individual also bagged out for whatever reason. And so, I just want to let people know I ain't nothing to be scared of, man. I'm just y'all brother. I'm trying to bring some truth, edify the people. And so, we were going to debate what is better for our people, the Holy Bible or the Holy Quran. And, normally I'm not the type to actually, too much go at somebody's beliefs or principles or whatever, if it's making them a productive person in our society. But in the end of the day, it's I believe and I know that the knowledge, wisdom, and science that the Most High put in the scriptures reigns supreme for us as a people and for this planet, period, because the whole planet jacked up. And so I said, so what would I do then since the debate not going down? And I thought to myself, if anyone in the future wants to pick up a similar title and say that, well, their stance would be that the Holy Quran in itself is a better foundation to maintain a nation, then we need to start looking at the Quran, itself. I don't claim to be an expert in the Quran or in Arabic. I have a semi background in it, coming up, whatever, dealing with, I would say, low-level moral science. And so I know a little bit about it, but I had to kind of dust myself off and go back into it. As you can see, matter of fact, just so y'all don't think I'm just PBSing. Let me see, I'm trying to turn the camera off. You can see, got my old trusty right here. I had to go dust them off. And so, yeah, so I just want to look at some things in it. Maybe, it'll open up a discussion or something like that, because, it's a lot of things that's in the Torah, the Tanakh, the Gospels, things of that nature that people been questioning for a long time. They'll pull out a verse and say, oh, look at this, as if it taints the entire book. But normally when someone has been dealing with the scriptures for a long time, they can put it in context and show you, bring better understanding to it. And sometimes it just is what it is, and it says what it says. But what I hear a lot from some of our Muslim brothers is that the Bible is tainted, and so the Quran had to come out to correct its wrongs, and the Quran ain't been translated like over and over and over and over like the Bible has, and the Quran has no faults and all of that. So we're going to examine a little bit of that and just see where it takes us. And so you let me know when you're ready for me to get on off in the mix, bro.
Yeah, we're ready. Whenever you're ready, brother. We're waiting on you, brother.
All right. And outside the cube, I see you in the chat. Stop playing, man. When on earth did I not show up for a debate with you, bro? I wiped the whole planet with you, man. Stop it.
What'd he say?
So he talking about I'm supposed to hire 2 L's because I didn't show up with a debate on him. I think everybody saw me show up. No, you didn't show up. Your body was there, but you left your brain at the crib. But okay. Let's go and get this.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember that debate outside the queue. What you talking about outside the queue? I remember that debate. I remember that one.
I guess he just wanted me to say hi to him or something. Hey, how you doing, bro?
The cube. I remember that one. That was the one with the. He actually posed some good arguments with the whole thing with the children part. You know what I'm saying? But you couldn't get around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that debate.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember that one.
Oh, so let's take a look at something real quick. I want to check something out. I want to go to I'm gonna go to their beloved book. I'm gonna go to the Quran, and I want to pick it up. So if any of y'all devout Muslims in here got your Quran, go ahead and pick it up. Or if you don't have a Quran, I say just PDF it real quick for free, so you can go ahead and see that I'm not making nothing up. And so I'm gonna pick something up. This is in the fourth. This is the 4th surah, and this goes back to what I was saying about why some of our Muslim brothers will attack the very Bible in which the prophet, that the brother Muhammad that they call the prophet, stated in the Quran, and you can see it over and over where he mentions the Torah, he mentions the book of the people of the book, which would be the Israelites, the book of the Jews, and at times he mentions the Christians also. So it would comprise of the Tanakh and the Gospels in the New Testament. But yet you get Muslims today, and not all of them, but a lot of them will make statements and they downplay the Bible. Yet without the Bible, there would be no Quran. No matter how you look at it, whether you have the understanding that I do, because I mean, it's a lot of stuff out there. You want to take it to the Catholic origins, we can do that. You want to take it to one fact that a lot of people don't know, which has always been suspicious, is its eerily similarity to the book of Jasher, which is a Hebrew text, which, you know, is debatable whether it is the official authentic text that's spoken about in the scriptures. But nevertheless, it's a book that predates the Quran, yet the Quran got a lot of similarities to it, but that's another story. So, excuse me. So let me see. Let's go to Surah, the 4th chapter, and I want to pick it up at, let me see, I think it is verse 82. So this Surah 4 and 82. Bear with me, give me 1 second. Surah 4 and 82. So let me see. It states, now, this right here, when I was reading it, I was like, wow, you know, that's a bold statement right there. But it literally says it. It says in Surah 482, give me 1 second, y'all. Let me find it. I should have had a bookmark on it. Okay, here we go. Now, this is supposedly what Allah says and how you know that the Quran is accurate, right? Now, this is tripped out. It says, do they not then consider the Quran carefully? Question mark. It says, had it been from other than Allah, they would surely have found therein many contradictions. So, to start this off, this book is telling you, if the Quran is not legit and literally from Allah or God, right? We'll just, for lack of a better term, let's just say God, right? That whole argument, whether Allah comes from Elohim, the Hebrew Elohim, or not, I'm not going to bring that up at this moment, but let's just say that it's making a claim that this book comes from an Abrahamic God, right? And it says, if it didn't, then it would have many contradictions. Now I want y'all to think about that statement. So that means if I basically wrote a book, right? And I wrote a book and the book didn't have no contradictions in it. Like say I wrote a book about the alphabet, the English alphabet or something like that, and it didn't have any contradictions in it. According to this, that will make it from God. Now, if that's not retarded enough, we just gonna look into it and see if it has, and it didn't say a few contradictions or a contradiction, but many contradictions. And I think that's funny that it's something that's so sure of itself would tell you to find a whole lot of them, as if they know it's gonna be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 in there. But so I want to check something out. So we're gonna stay in here and we're gonna go to Surah 7. I'm gonna go to 7th Surah. So let's see if we can find contradictions, right? So let me see. This is the 7th Surah, and let me see if I can pick it up. 7th Surah and the 54th verse. I want y'all to listen to this real clear, y'all. It say, indeed your Lord is Allah, who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, and then he rolls over the throne. It says, and he brings the night as a cover over the day, seeking it rapidly, and the sun, the moon, the stars subjected to his command. Surely this is the creation of commandment. Blessed is Allah, the Lord of Amun. Okay, so I don't have a problem, of course, with what it's saying, but pay close attention. It says, indeed your Lord is Allah, who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. Now, I don't have a problem with that, because it sounds as though, of course, you would say, well, they got that understanding from the Torah. But let's just see. Let's go to Surah 41. Now, it said it created it in 6 days. Any Hebrew in here or Christian would be in agreement with that. Even if they have an understanding that the 6 days were not literal 6 days, it still says 6 days, nevertheless. Okay, so let's go to Surah 41. I mean, this is going to get amazing. So let's see if we can just... So I'm going to take it up on this test. Like in our book, it say, prove me. And another spot, it says, prove all things. So this Quran gets so bold and say, find many contradictions.
Yeah, he didn't get that.
So let's see. This is Surah 41.
I'm going to give him the win because he didn't.
And I'm going to pick it up. Y'all got to bear with me because this book, you see how small it is.
He called out, but.
So it's Surah 41. And I'm going to pick it up at 9.
Yeah, he called
Surah
out.
Surah 41 and 9. Let me see if I can find Surah 41 and 9. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. Surah 41 and 9. Okay, here we go. Surah 41 and 9. Now listen to this. Now remember it just said it created in 6 days, right? So let's check this out. 9 through 12. It says, say, do you verily disbelieve in him who created the earth in 2 days?
He was on some bullshit, but it's all good.
Now hold on, it's already looking creepy. So it just said he created the earth in 6 days. And now it just says, do you verily disbelieve in him who created the earth in 2 days? With a question mark. But let's not jump off the hinges on that because it got a deeper meaning. I give it that. But it really gonna still trip you out. It says, and you set up rivals with him, that is the Lord. It says he placed therein firm mountains from above it. He blessed it and measured therein its substance. And 4 days equal. So you got 6 days, then 2 days plus 4 days and equal, right? Now watch this. It's going to tell you what it's talking about it created in 2 days. They say, for all those who ask, then he rose over towards the heaven when it was smoke and said to it and to the earth, come both of you willingly and unwillingly. They both said, we come willingly. Then he completed and finished their creation. 7 heavens in 2 days. So hold on. First off, I would like to know where do they get the 7 heavens from?
Yeah, that's what.
I mean, you hear this from the Catholics, right? You don't see this in the scriptures. Right, when you read in the Tanakh, you see evidence of 2 heavens and then a heaven where the Father dwells at, where nobody, you can't chill up there like that, right? When you go later in the New Testament, I believe it was Paul, he mentions 3rd heaven or 3 heavens. But they talk about 7 heavens, and apparently it took another 2 days to make this 7th heaven. So hold on.
Like, nigga, you got the win. I guess it was.
But and maybe somebody who knows the Arabic, like really good, can clear a lot of this stuff up. Because it's the same way when we deal with the Bible. I'm gonna be fair. People will cherry pick something and say, "Oh, no, man, and the first thing we say is you don't understand it." So we'll go and show them what it means. So I'm giving them the opportunity to show me what it means. But they might be able to wiggle out of that one. But remember, it told us to find many contradictions. So we're going to keep it moving. Let's go back to the second surah. Now, y'all write these down. Everything I'm about to say, write them down. Because according to this litmus test that the Quran gave, if I can disprove this, it shows the Quran is not from Allah. So let's go to the second surah. And we're going to pick it up at verse, let me see, Surah 2. And the first 20 surahs, I remember this about the Quran. The first 20 surahs are huge. After that, they get real small. So that's why it's taking me so long.
Get ready for that Iman back.
So in second surah, let's go to verse 29. I pick it up at 28, 29. Now listen to this real close, y'all. Write it down.
All right, no doubt, man.
It says, how can you disbelieve in Allah, seeing that you were dead and he gave you life? Then he will give you death. Then again will bring you to life. It says, of course, and it's talking about the resurrection. I give it to him on that. It says, and then to him you will return. He it is who created for you all that is on earth Then he rose over towards the heaven and made the 7 heavens, and he is the all-knowing of everything. Now, how many of my Torah students in here just caught that? Now, y'all heard what he just said. Listen real close. He said, I want y'all to hear this close. It says again, he will give you death and then will bring you to life. And then to him you will return. Yeah, listen to this. He it is, or it is he, who created for you all that is on earth. Then he rose over towards the heaven and made the 7 heavens. So this just said that God created earth before heaven. Did y'all catch that? Man, I'll give you one more on the remix. I don't want y'all to think I'm making it up. It said, he it is who created for you all that is on earth. Then he rose over towards the heaven and made them 7 heavens. So according to this, it's telling you that he created the earth and things on it. So I don't know if that's trying to say it was animals here before he even made heaven. And then he created the heaven. But in this same Quran, let's go to the 79th surah. I mean, this is about to get a little bit ridiculous. Now, I don't want nobody try to commit no jihad on me. Y'all just gonna have to you know, straighten up some. I'm asking for the scholars to come straighten up some things in this book, man. So let's see. Surah 79. Now y'all heard that it just said you had Sunday and Monday off, and then them dreadful 7 heavens again, which I still don't know where they get that from. I do know where they get it from, but it ain't from the scriptures. It say he created the earth first, and then he created the heaven. So let's see. So in the same Quran, we're gonna go to Surah 79. For the debate. Surah 79. So we left it at 9 o'clock. Surah 79, and I'm gonna pick it up at, let me see where it's at. Verse 27. Listen to this. Right. Surah 79 and 27. Write this down, y'all. Are you more difficult to create, or is the heaven that he constructed? It's a good question. It says he raised his heights and perfected it. Its night he covers with darkness, and its forenoon he brings out. It says, and after that, hold up now. So he created the heavens first. Y'all hear this right? It says, and after that, he spread the earth and brought forth therefore its water and its pasture. And the mountains he has fixed firmly, a provision and benefit for you and your cattle. I'm getting dizzy. So hold on, man. Now we just read in Surah the 2nd chapter that he created the earth before he created the heaven. But in the same book, you go to the 79th surah, and he changed his mind and said, oops, my bad, I forget. I actually created the heavens first, and then the earth. Now, mind you, I'm doing this because in the 82nd surah, it says if you can find contradictions, then this is not from Allah. Now, I know the history, a little bit of the history of when the Quran was comprised, and I think it's funny that people bring up things about when the Bible was comprised, but at least you got people that was around actually contemporary at the time of the Bible. For example, when Jesus was around, Yahshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, when he was around, right, you had people that knew him who actually wrote, Mark, John, etc., right? It was at least maybe 60 years after his death that some of the reports say that it goes back to. But when you check the Quran, you got to think you got the Hadiths, you got the Quran. You don't see any recording of Muhammad until about 300 years later, completely. Now this is really tripped out if we look into it. I ain't just making no blank claims, right? Now, if you look at the Hadiths, which we know are supposed to be the exact words from Muhammad, that comes way later. Like, I think around the 8th century or something. Now, come on. So how you going to talk about the Bible, which is under 100 years after the death of the New Testament Messiah, but yet yours is going centuries? You see what I'm saying? Come on, man. And nobody that was there with Muhammad has a recording that I can find that actually wrote it. So we're going to continue to look in this because this goes back to the debate that me and our beloved brother was supposed to have tonight on which one would be, and like this wasn't even going to really be a topic. I was just going to present things from the Torah, which is our constitution, and I was going to show economics, I was going to show health, I was going to show education, cleanliness, I was going to show agriculture, all of these things in the scriptures, and showed that if we applied them to our society today, we would be in 100% better condition. But the foundation has to be solid. So if my opponent is going to use the Quran, how you going to use the Quran when the Quran don't even know what the Quran is saying? The Quran arguing with itself. So let me continue. And I know I'm going to get some hate mail. I still love my Muslim brothers, you know, shalom alaikum and all that good stuff. But hey, man, this the Solar Vision Debate League, man. We got to get it in funky. So I want to try something else. Now, I think I found about what? Have you been keeping count? I done found about 6 contradictions already. So let me see. Here's another one I always liked. I remember, I'm going to give a shout out to the brother too, Gorilla Hebrew. Had did a debate on Debate Talk for You some years back. And I remember he had brought this point up that I'm about to go now. So I'm finna go to, let's see who the first Muslim was, according to the Quran. So let's see. Let's go to the 6th surah. Now remember, the challenge that's put out in the Quran in the 82nd surah, I mean in the 4th surah, I apologize, in the 4th surah, the 82nd verse, is that if you can find not just a few, but many contradictions, then this book is not from Allah. So let's see who the first Muslim is. Let's go to the 6th surah. So if you go to the 6th surah, let me see, the 6th surah, and you see 6th surah. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me, fam. Bear with me. Okay, here we go. The 6th surah and the 14th verse. Where is it? Okay, I think this is it right here. All right, 6th surah and 14th verse. Let's see. It says, shall I take as a wali, protector, Lord God, any other than Allah, the creator of the heavens and earth? And it is he who feeds, but is not fed, say verily. I am commanded to be the first of those who submit themselves to Allah. Right? It says, and be not you, of course, O Muhammad, of the Mushrikin, or Mushrikin, you can help me with that, Sola. Now you're a little better in the Arabic. Say, I fear if I disobey my Lord, the torment of mighty day. Now, let me go back and read that again slow for y'all so y'all can catch what I was just bringing out. It says, verily, I am commanded to be the first of those who submit themselves to Allah. That literally translate or submit to the will of Allah, Muslim. So he's saying, I am the first Muslim. This is Muhammad talking, y'all. It said he's the first Muslim. Now, y'all heard that, right? Now, let's see. Let's go right to the next surah, the 7th surah. Now, right here, so y'all can write it down, in the 6th surah and 14th verse, Muhammad is declared to be the first Muslim. So let's go to the 7th surah. I mean, they're not even scattered far apart. That's the crazy thing. Like, this ain't even that far down the block. Like, could you imagine if you came out the crib? Now, I'm going to say my analogies. I'm gonna be real respectful. So let's go to the 7th surah, and let's pick it up at, let me see, verse 142. Here we go. Listen, this 7th surah, verse 142. Now, we just read that Muhammad was the first prophet. I mean, the first Muslim. Now, let's look at this. It says, and of the cattle for burden and small, it says, eat of what Allah has provided for you. for meat, milk, and wool. Eat of what Allah has provided for you, and follow not the footsteps of Shaitan or Satan. Surely he is to you an open enemy. 8 pairs of sheep, 2 male and female. So hold on 1 second. Let me see. Okay, next one. Here you go. And of the goats too, say, has he forbidden the 2 males of the 2 females, or that which the wombs of the 2 females enclose? Inform me with knowledge if you are truthful. And of the camels, 2, here you go again, the oxen 2. He has forbidden the 2 males of the 2 females, which the wombs of 2 females enclose, or where you present when Allah ordered you such a thing. Then who does more wrong than one who invites Allah against Allah to lead mankind astray without knowledge? Certainly Allah guides not the people of the thing. So let me see. Oop, I think I lost myself, y'all. My bad. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I marked it and can't find it. Let me see if right as we say. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, here we go. It says, my bad, I skipped the spot. Give me 1 second. Jumped outside my body. I got a little frantic. Yeah, wrong one, my bad. Okay, here we go. So, let me try this again. 143. Let me see. 143. But basically, I'm about to read to y'all that it's about to say Abraham was the first Muslim. So let me just see if I can get it. Allow the order. Eat the fruit, rep, waste, harvest. I like almost shame. Man, I'll come back to that anyway. So I'll come back to it. I had to find it, but it's definitely in here. I didn't mark it down. I should have highlighted it, but it's definitely in here. And I'm going to come back before the show over with so y'all don't be like Mikhail made that up. But I know for a fact it's in the 2nd surah, so I'm going to have to just come back and find it. But don't worry. Even if that got y'all a little bit upset, like, man, he was on the road. Y'all looking for some more, and I'm going to come back to it. And if somebody find it, just post it. I got more. So watch this. So let's try something else. Now, in the 10th surah, let me see. It says, the 10th surah in the 47th verse, it says, a messenger was sent to every nation. Now, I want y'all to pay close attention to this, right? But then it also tells us in the 2nd surah that Abraham and Ishmael went to Arabia and built the Kaaba. Now, I want to pay close attention to what I'm saying. Now, in the 28th surah, the 46th verse, it says, Muhammad was the first messenger. Did y'all catch that? Better yet, let me read it to you. So let's go to the 10th surah so y'all can read it yourself. Let's go to the 10th surah, and I want y'all to see how profound that is on what, if you put those 3 together, what it just said, because that's utter confusion. Now let's go. The 10th surah, let me see, the 10th surah, and what is it? The 47th verse. So we got Surah 10 and 47. Let's go. Here we go. Bam. Okay. Surah 10 and 47. Here we go. It says, and for every ummah, there is a messenger. When their messenger comes, the matter will be judged between them with justice, and they will not be wrong. So, this just said that every nation has a messenger. Now, keep that in mind, y'all. Every nation has a messenger. As it was with Israel in the Torah and the Tanakh, the messengers or the prophets were all Israelites, right? They were Israelites. But when you get to the Quran, it says every nation has a messenger, right? Now, you could take that and say, well, maybe it means that they sent the messenger from, a Muslim to every nation. But if you even take that, let's see the problem in that. And I'm gonna go back to the second surah. It's a lot of stuff in that second one. I don't know if somebody was feeling a little good when they wrote that one, but that second surah got it, and it's a big surah too. So it got a whole lot of verses in it. So let's go to the second surah, and I'm gonna go to second surah 125. Let me see. Second surah, the second surah and 125th verse. Let me see. Here we go. And we made the house at a place and a resort of mankind and a place of safety. And take you the Markham and Abraham, or the stone which Abraham, same person, stood while he was building the Kaaba as a place of prayer. For some of the prayers, and he goes to the things in quotations. And we commanded Abraham and Ishmael that they should purify my house for those who are circumventing it, or staying, or bowing, or prostrating themselves. Now, hold on. So, this saying that Abraham and Ishmael was messengers that built the Kaaba stone. Now, hold on. I thought we just read that Muhammad was the first Muslim. So what is they doing? And their messengers going to build a Kaaba stone. So hold up. And this was way before Muhammad. That's thousands of years before Muhammad. So somebody math ain't right. But we're going to continue. Let's go to the 28th surah. And let's read this. Now, I'm just amazed at the challenge. I ain't going to lie. This is a bold book because it literally puts the challenge out there to tell you to find contradictions. And if you find those contradictions, then it tells you it's literally not from Allah. So let's go to the 28th surah. The 28th surah. 28th surah. Need a little song. Come on, y'all. Get some music up in this joint. 28th surah. 28. Okay. 28th surah. I'm here. 28th surah. And let me go to the 46th verse. The 46th verse. Oh, and the killer part, when I read that second surah just now about Abraham and Ishmael building the Kaaba stone, remember that was in Arabia. Now, before that, it said every nation has a messenger. But that is that they went to Arabia and built the Kaaba stone. Now, watch this, Surah 28 and 46. So this Surah 28 and 46. Let me see these letters so little. Here we go. Got it. It says, and you, Muhammad, were not at the side of the mount when we did call. It says, oh, and of course, got parentheses, and it is said that Allah called the followers to Muhammad, right? It says, and they answered his call, or that Allah called Musa or Moses. But you are sent as a mercy from your Lord to give warning to a people to whom no warner had come before you. Wait a minute. So nobody came before you, but it just said Abraham and Ishmael and them went over to Arabia. But we're going to keep it moving, though, right? And the order that they may remember or receive abomination. It says, and if not, it says, and if not, in case a calamity should seize them, for that their hands have sent forth, they would have said, our Lord, why did you not send us a messenger? We would then have followed your ayat, which is verses, and would have been among the believers. But when the truth with the messenger has come to them from us, they say, why is he not given the light of what was given to Moses? Did they not disbelieve in which was given to Musa of old? They said two kinds of magic, the Torah and the Quran. each helping the other. And they say, verily in both we are disbelievers. Now, the reason I read a little further, I just really want to read the top part, is I think this is real profound because it makes the claim that the Torah and the Quran help each other. So my question is, for all the Muslims who say that the Torah is so tainted, the Bible is so messed up, then why is it that the Quran needs the Bible? Why do they help each other? These are questions that we got to ask. So it's either some people don't really agree with the Quran, or maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just confusing within the Quran itself, because it is some other things that it says in here that would kind of make you think that this statement is not already, is not always, how they feel. So let me continue. So remember, right, it asked us earlier to find contradictions. And if we find these contradictions, then this word is not from Allah. Now let's look and see if we can find some more. So let's go into Surah 4. Let's go into 4th Surah. Let's go into 4th Surah. This is very interesting. And again, I'm not out here to hurt nobody's feelings or nothing like that. It just is what it is, man. I'm tired of people talking about the Bible is tainted. The Bible has been wrote 900 million times. But y'all definitely don't want to get into the history of that, because history is one of my majors. Now, I'm just reading this dogmatically as y'all are. And it's not looking too good. So let's go to, what did I just say I was going? Okay, I said what? Surah 4? Okay, let's go to the 4th Surah. Now, in the 4th Surah, it's going to say a good thing that I know I could agree with as a Bible believer and a Torah brother myself. So let's go to Surah 4 and 48. Now, this is dealing with idolatry. And let's see what it says. Now, it says, verily, Allah forgives not the partners should be set up with him in worship. So it say Allah forgives not that partners be set up with him. Like have no other God before me and things of that nature. So he said he don't need no partners, right? Now watch this. It says, but he forgives except that to whom he wills. And whoever sets up partners with Allah in worship, he has indeed invented a tremendous sin. So it's saying, basically, if you do any idolatry, it is unforgivable. It is a tremendous sin. Now watch this. Let's stay in the same, this is so crazy. This is in the same chapter of this surah. So let's stay in the 4th chapter of this surah. Now, mind you, y'all write it down. In the 48th verse of the 4th surah, it is an unforgivable sin to commit idolatry or put any other God with Allah. That's why they always say there is but one God, Allah. They're making a declaration to their God that they are not having any other God equal to them, which is a good thing. Now watch this though. In the same 4th surah, we're gonna take it to let me see, the 100. Let's go to 100. Boy, all these surahs look like the book of Psalms. I mean, they got down in 200 verses up in this joint. But let's see. So let's go to stay in Surah 4 and let's go to 153rd verse. Ooh, this gets very interesting. So let me check this out. It says, the people of the scripture. I always love when the Quran say that, because y'all know the people of the scripture are us, the Israelites, right? It says the people of the scripture, Jews, in parentheses, ask you to cause a book to descend upon them from heaven. Indeed, they asked Moses For even greater than that, when they said, show us Allah in public, but they were struck with thunderclap and lightning for their wickedness. Then they worshiped the calf even after clear proofs, evidence, and signs had come to them. So we forgave them, and we gave Moses a clear proof of authority. Now, if this Allah is supposed to be the same Elohim or Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that the Torah speaks of, he just made the claim that we forgave them, right? But he just said in the same surah, man, about 100 verses earlier, that there is no forgiveness for idolatry. Come on, man. Come on. So we're going to keep on reading. But I mean, you know, I could be, you know, like I said, man, I could be somebody that maybe I need, you know, maybe I need to tune up a little bit in my Arabic. I remember back in the day, you know, we used to do the, Allah, Father of the universe, you know what I'm saying? The love, true peace, freedom, and justice, and all that under the Moorish Act. And I remember the Al-Fatiha. I still remember the prayer to Al-Fatiha or whatever. But I never got too deep into the Arabic. I knew a little bit of the Al-Fatiha in Arabic, but I don't care if I knew it in ancient Atlantean. It would not help you dig out all of these boo-boos that I'm pulling out this book. Let's just keep it funky, man. So let's keep it going. Now, mind you, what did we say at first? It said if you could find many contradictions, then surely this book is not from Allah. At my count, I think I'm at about 9 already. And I could actually just go on and on and on, but I'm just going to name a few more. So let's see. What's another point I want to bring up? Okay, let me see. Oh, okay. It's another one that's tripped out. If you go to the second surah and the 62nd, I'll let y'all read this on y'all own. But if you go to the second surah and the 62nd verse, it tells you that Jews and Christians don't fear because God will accept them in heaven. I'm paraphrasing. Y'all could go there and look at it for yourselves. But if you go right next to the next chapter, in the third surah, in 85th verse, it says only Islam is accepted, and basically tells you to fight against those of the other false beliefs or any other type of belief. So, I mean, this book is all over the place. All over the place. So, let's go ahead. And I got another point I want to bring up. Now, this one is always funny to me, but this one that I know a lot of my Muslim brothers, they could kind of play around with, because if you try to take it from a scientific perspective, they'll say, well, you know, this actually comes from that, and that actually comes from this. And what I'm talking about is when you look at what the, wait a minute, who you talking to, Solar Vision? What you say? I'm clearly not good in the Arabic. Hey, you can get in here if you want to. All you got to do is straighten some of this up now. I hate to do it to the host, you my boy, but all you got to do, like I said, I will take correction on it. I will take correction on it. I promise you, you know it, man, because you know I'm kind of playing possum too. So go ahead and fall for it if you want to. So let's see what I was going to say next. Okay, if you look at the origins of man according to the Quran, right? Oh, the last verse I read was, the last one I quoted, you mean, was the third surah and the 85th verse.
You said third surah?
Yeah, the third surah and the 85th verse. You can read it out loud if you want to. You ain't gonna keep cutting my wisdom either, but I'm gonna let you get it.
No, you want to ask for it. You asked for
it. Go ahead and read it.
It says, and whoso seeks a religion other than Islam, it shall not be accepted from him, and in the life to come he shall be among the losers.
Okay, now stop right there. So that's clear as day. Do you need an Arabic translation for that? It said if you do not accept Islam. Now go back one chapter. Go to
Well,
the
yeah,
second.
that's a Yeah, go ahead. What was your point?
Now my point was, if you go back to the chapter before that in the second surah in the 62nd verse, it says Jews and Christians. It tells you Jews and Christians don't fear because you will be accepted by Allah. So which one is it? Will they be accepted by Allah or won't they be accepted by Allah?
Oh yeah. You're getting caught up in the translation.
Okay, that's cool. I knew you was gonna say that.
Yeah, because it says, I mean, yeah, this is the problem sometimes with when you translate certain things. The Islam in this verse is referring to peace.
To just peace. I knew that was coming.
Islam Medinan. So what it's saying is, and whoso seeks a religion other than peace, it shall not be accepted from him, and in the life to come, he shall be of the losers. Now he say he followed the people of the book. If you follow the people of the book and all the former prophets, they came with the same message of peace. That's what it's saying.
This is sad, man, that you got this is sad that the host has to step in to try to make this interesting because
I didn't. You asked him for me to come in. I wasn't gonna say nothing.
I asked for you.
I could have beat you up with just about all the stuff you said, brother.
No, I doubt you could. But that was I give you that one. And I kind of knew. I was like, yeah, he gonna try to say Islam is peace because that's definitely what the definition.
Word Islam is salam. It means peace.
Islam. So look. So my point is, it's sad that somebody voted so quick that well, I had to call soul in it. But let's continue. And you can go back on mute, and I might just call you right back out because after I'm done, we're gonna open up the open it up and let people get interactive anyway. So that'd be cool. So here's another funny one, but I'm not gonna lie. Even with this, it's kind of tricky. So I really don't want to make this as a strong point, but I'm gonna throw it out there just for argument's sake. When you look up how the first man was created in the Quran, just studying the Quran, right? In the 19th surah and 67th verse, it actually says that God created man from nothing. That's what it says. As a matter of fact, let's go there and read it. So let's go to Surah 19. Let's go to the 19th surah. The 19th surah. Like I say, the first 20 surahs are huge. I always knew that. They were huge. And so let's go to let me see, the 19th surah. And what was I at? Surah 19. Okay, there we go. Surah 19 and 67. So it's Surah 19 and 67. So Surah 19 and 67, here we go. It says, and man says, when I am dead, shall I then be raised up alive? Does not man remember that we created him before while he was nothing? So it say, we created this man while he was nothing. And then when you go to the 92nd surah, it says he was created from blood. So you got him, and it says right here that he was created from nothing. So you can kind of play with that because you could say, well, it says he was created from nothing, not that he created. Well, same thing. You could say he was created from nothing and not necessarily that he was nothing. I know they could play on the word games with that type of stuff. But when you go to the 92nd surah, in the second verse, it say he was created from blood. Now, when you go to, matter of fact, let me read it because I don't want nobody thinking I'm making nothing up. And this is why I know somebody gonna try to get tricky because they're gonna say, well, that blood really come from mud, would actually come from clay, which actually come from earth, will actually come from water. See, I know they're gonna try to play that game, But let's just go ahead and read it anyway. So let's go to the 96th surah. The 96th surah. 96. I really wish the brother could have came though, but it's all good. Let's get some time to just go ahead and put some information out there, see who can deal with it. So this the 92nd surah, and let's pick it up at verse 2. It says, read, in the name of your Lord who has created all that exists. He has created man from a clot and a piece of thick coagulated blood. Well, that's in quotation where it says it's describing it, but it's talking about a clot. So this is saying that he created man from a blood clot. But at first he created him from nothing, and now he created him from a blood clot. My question is, where did that blood come from? Like, who blood did he make man from? Is you trying to tell me Allah can bleed? Because if so, I hope him and the God of, the Bible, Yahweh or Elohim, I hope they don't get into no fight, because he can leak. I ain't never heard our God like getting cut, bleeding, and nothing like that. But let's continue. Let's go to the 21st surah. Let's go to the 21st surah. I might not be that sharp in the Arabic as my brother Solomon so eloquently pointed out. But one thing I'm good at is peeping bird seed. I'll leave it like that, BS. And so let's go to the 21st surah. Okay, y'all stay with me now. Stay with me now. Get y'all some popcorn and some iced tea. You know what I'm saying? And just chill back. Take this little ride with me. So this the 21st. This is the 21st surah. Let me see. Surah 21, and I'm gonna pick it up at verse 30. Now remember, it just said he was created from nothing. Then he was created from a blood clot. I just got that Jamaican sound. I want to hear your blood clot. And now let's see if it changes again. This is verse 30. Have not those who disbelieve known that the heavens and the earth were joined together as one united piece? Then we parted them, and we have made from water every living thing. Will they not then believe? So hold on now. And you keep your phone muted, keep your mic muted. You got an echo thing going through. So now we just read the last two. First, he said man was made from nothing. Then it said man was made from a clot. Now, in the 21st chapter and the 30th verse, or the 21st surah chapter, same thing, in the 30th verse, he was made from water. So, I mean, which one is it? Is it the water? Is it a blood clot or a clot? Because he might say that don't mean blood, it might mean something else. Somebody might say that. Or was it from nothing? So we already got a problem. But we're going to continue. Let's go to the 16th surah and bag up. Let's just bag up to the 16th surah. So you got the 16th surah in the 4th verse. Let's see what this one says. He has created man from nutfah. Nutfah. Excuse me. Then behold, this same man becomes an open opponent. And the cattle, he has created them for you. In them there is warmth, and numerous benefits of them that you eat, and wherein is beauty for you when you bring them home in the evening. And as you lead them forth of pasture morning, and they carry your loads and land, they could not reach you yourself. Truly your Lord is full of kindness. So let's see. It just said, he has created man from nutfah. And that just sounds funny because the nutfah, I think you could even, I remember we used to say that nutfah meant seed. Seed. So that seed, as far, now I knew this much, is basically related to the same seed we talk about copulation with, which is sperm. So now, is he made from water, nothing, blood, or sperm? Yeah, you shaking your head, but that's cool. You the host. You can do that. But I'm just saying. And even if we try to say, well, no, that far does not mean that, it means a literal seed that you plant in the ground. That still is it impossible for that to come from nothing. I mean, is it nothing, or is it blood, or is it water, or is it seed? But let's continue. So, pardon me, y'all. I'm drink this water. So, let's stay in this and keep trying to figure out the mysteries of where the man came from. Let's go to the 15th surah. So, let's go to Surah 15. Let's go to Surah 15. Oh, this is fun. Surah 15. And let me see. Where I want to get it at. All right, the 26th verse. Surah 15 and 26. And indeed, we created man from dried clay or altered mud. And the jinn we created aforetime from the smokeless flame of fire. Okay, so we got, they was created from clay or mud, and also they was created from clay, mud, or blood, or seed, or water, or nothing. Or nothing. I mean, this is madness, man. This is madness. And this is all in the same book, y'all. This ain't like 2 or 3 different translation kinds. This one got the Arabic in it too. You see what I'm saying? This got a little bit of the Arabic in it too. And it literally just told, I just counted, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 different wordings. Let's just say wordings. Somebody might try to mix them up, say, oh, they all just mean the same thing, right? 5 different wordings just on a simple question of what was man made out of. You know, ours clearly say, which I don't even disagree with the clay or the mud, because you could just say, well, clay, mud, that actually comes from the earth. So I don't have a problem with that, because that's the Torah. You see what I'm saying? So I don't disagree with that. Now, you coming from blood or coming from sperm, I got a problem, because I want to know whose sperm did you come from, or whose seed did you come from if you the first man. That's interesting. Okay, but let me continue. And also, if you go to the 3rd surah in the 59th verse, it say that he made man from dust. Now you can say, well, dust, clay, dirt, yeah. So you really wouldn't make too much of a big deal of that. And I think it's in the 11th surah. I can't remember the verse in that one, but in 11th surah, it goes back to what the Torah says, and it says man was made from the earth. So of course I don't have a problem with that. But that in itself, now mind you, the whole reason I did this was based off of the challenge put forth by the Quran itself to find contradictions in this book. And therefore, if you find many contradictions, I mean, I would have tripped if they just said find one or find a few, right? Or find a few, but to find many lets you know that they knew it was a lot of them in here. And so that was the challenge put forth, to find them. And if not, you can declare that this book does not come from Allah. But let me continue. I got a little bit more I like to put out here without going, going too far in it. And let's look at some more. So let's go to, let me see. Oh, I know. Now, my brother Solomon brought out an excellent point earlier, in which I will not argue with in all fairness, that he says that meaning of Islam basically in that context just means peace. I could actually go with that. And when I was looking at it, when I first was looking at it, I'm like, well, you know, that somebody's probably going to say that just means peace. So I was kind of skeptical about even really focusing on it. So let's focus on this one then and see what this one say. I just thought about it when you did that. It was on my mind, but I couldn't think exactly where it was at. But let's go back. So let's go back to the second surah. Let's take a look at something else real quick. So this the second surah. Now let's take. I would like to see. Let me see. Where is it at? Bear with me, y'all. The second surah, and second surah 256. Now let's check this out, y'all. Second surah 256. It says, and I quote, "There is no compulsion in religion. There is no compulsion in religion. Verily, the right path has become distinct from the wrong path. Whoever disbelieves in Tar and believes in Allah, then he has grasped the most trustworthy handhold that will never break. And Allah is all hearer, all knower." So there is no compulsion in religion. That's quite clear. That's quite clear. Ain't no compulsion in religion. So let's see. Let's see what Surah the 9th chapter said. So we go to the 9th Surah, Let's go to the 9th Surah. Let's go to the 9th Surah, and let me see. The 9th Surah and the 29th verse. The 9th Surah and the 29th verse. And let's read this. Now remember also what I read earlier when my beloved brother Soli came in and corrected me and says that Islam just meant peace. So meaning there's no problem with the Jews and Christians, right? Okay, let's look at this, right? This is Surah 9 and 29. It says, "Fight against those who believe not in Allah, nor in the last day, nor forbid that which has been forbidden by Allah and his messenger Muhammad." So if you don't believe in Allah, and I know somebody can say, well, you got to think that's just the Arabic word for God. It's the same God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But you also have to accept Muhammad, that this says, now watch that, as the last prophet, and those who acknowledge not the religion of truth, which we know in this case is talking about Islam, the religion, not just peace. Among the people, now watch this, among the people of the scripture, now y'all know who that is, right? That be us. Among the people of the scripture, it says Jews and Christians, you got a little parentheses right there, until they pay the jizya with willing submission and feel themselves subdued. And the Jews say Yuzar, or Ezra, is the son of Allah. All the Christians say Messiah is the son of Allah. That is their saying with their mouths, resembling the saying of those who disbelieved aforetime. Allah's curse be on them, how they are deluded away from the truth. They, the Jews and Christians, took their rabbis and their monks to be their lords besides Allah, by obeying them in things that they made lawful or unlawful according to their own desires without being ordered by Allah. It says, and they also took as their Lord Messiah, son of Mary, while they, the Jews and Christians, were commanded in the Torah and the Injil, the Gospels, to worship none but one. And then it says, none has right to be worshipped but he. Glorified is he. Far above is he from having the partners of the assumption. So this telling you, man, you should not tolerate no Israelites around you. Rather, if they Torah centered, or if they deal with the New Testament, because they saying the Israelites from the Tanakh, the Old Testament. Now, y'all, this is what they're saying. Now, I don't need to know 7 languages to get this. It's literally just said because the Israelites in the Old Testament put the prophets before God, and that the Israelites in the New Testament put Jesus before God. So you need to put them to flight whenever you see them, meaning up bangers on them and tell them to get out your face. That's what it just said. That's what it just said. Now, this ain't talking about just Islam peace now here. This talking about you not being with their religion, and they feel that we messed everything up because they acknowledge we the people of the book, or the Israelites are the people of the book. But they say, man, them dudes worship even they prophets over God, which I ain't even seen that one. I ain't seen that one because every time a prophet came in the Old Testament, he was warning Israelites about committing idolatry. So whichever one of them prophets they worshipped, I ain't seen it yet. Because they usually winded up killing them because they was telling them to stay away from idolatry. So I got to say this. This will be the first time I actually say something putrid towards this book. This one that I just read, that right there, whoever wrote that verse had to been sniffing, I don't know, some goat dung or something, whatever they got high for back then, or maybe some of that Mecca mountain weed, because he just bugged out on this, because I ain't seen nowhere where we was worshiping the prophets. I seen where we was killing them and chasing them out the land. So somebody is playing games. But we gonna continue. And this Quran gets fun. So let me keep on reading. It says, matter of fact, let's go to, here's another one. Now, here's another one. Oh boy. Now, being that the Quran, now, let's just say, let's be objective, right? And let's say that, okay, the Quran is an extension of the Bible. Now, you know what? I wouldn't have as much, I would still have a problem because Revelations was the last thing we needed. But I would say I would not be as vexed if Muslims made that declaration, right? Or if they made that claim. But instead, they make claims that it is a more pure or a more correct form of the scriptures, because they feel that since the Dead Sea Scrolls, the scriptures been passed around and tainted. But when you ask them to show you the original form of the Torah and where it's different from this, they can't do it. And the fact that they steady take jabs at the Bible, yet the Quran says that basically in other spots that it's piggybacking, or excuse me, lambacking off of the Torah, the prophets, and the Gospels. So either people really don't believe in what this is saying, or somebody just really don't like the Bible, and they just they just popping shots or whatever. But I'm gonna tell you why I brought that up, because if they truly followed the ways of the Torah, then they would do something like feast, right? And you hear this a lot. Muslims not supposed to drink alcohol. But I know that's not true, because I know a lot of Muslims, even the Arabs, the Ishmaelites at the stove, be getting busted, right? They be getting busted. But, you can't go off what people do. You have to go off what their book says. So let's look at the book. Now, if you go to our book, it makes it quite clear about the prohibition and the admission, pros and cons of drinking alcohol, right? But let's see what their book says, since they say it's an extension of our book. So let's go to the 4th surah. I'll tell you, that 4th surah and that 2nd surah is full of boo-boo. Let's go to the 4th surah. The 4th surah, and let's check it out, man. Let's see if I want to just, go ahead, go on back to it and say, man, I'm gonna go ahead and be a Muslim, man, a Muslim or a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just, man, whatever. Brews like to get it in and then. Matter of fact, we commanded to during the feast. You just ain't supposed to be no drunk. Now watch this, right? Let's go to surah, the 4th surah, and let's go to the 43rd verse. Now let's check this out, y'all. So for all y'all who like to get it in lawfully, you're going to have some problems with this one. Oh, you who believe, approach not as salat, the prayers, while you are in a drunken state, until you know the meaning of what you utter, nor while you are in a state of janabi, or in a state of sexual impurity, have not yet taken a bath. I actually don't have a problem with that, because you can kind of see some Torah influences on that, right? So my reason for reading that was, it's telling you right here that it's okay to drink alcohol. Just don't be busted trying to go pray to the Most High. That's basically what you telling you, or in this case, Allah. So he said, you can have you a drink, just don't be going to God drunk. And I can understand that, because you might get busted and pray for something you don't want. You know what I'm saying? God might split your head. And then after that, it says, don't go praying to God unclean. Well, we know even in the Torah, where we had to go before, you know what I'm saying, we had to go before God when he was in the mountain, he told us to stay away from our wives, you know what I'm saying, for at least 3 days. You know, you had to clean yourself. If I'm mistaken, I think it was 3 days of the evening. But you had to clean yourself, because, you know, he ain't want you to be, the body fluids and ejaculation and stuff like that. He wanted you pure and clean around him. Don't come around him with no freaky juice on you, right? And you had to be clean as far as your hygiene. You know, he used to tell us, man, he used to walk around with us, and we'd be in the tabernacles and the camps, and we used to have a shovel on the side of our little brew gear. We used to have a little shovel, you know what I'm saying? So if we had to take a poop, we would have to go outside the camp, and we would have to dig a little hole and bury it. So God don't want to step in your doo-doo. So we got to clean God. You know what I'm saying? I can dig that about the Quran. That this part is pretty on. So at least you know, as a Muslim, if you want to get you a nice little sip of wine or some strong drink, you okay. Just don't go pray to God if you'd have had too many. But wait a minute. Are we sure about that? There's more. Let's go to the 5th chapter, y'all. Let's go to the 5th chapter. Let's see if they hold this same tone throughout the book. So let's see. Let's go to the 5th surah, which is the very next chapter, y'all. And let's go to the 5th surah and the 90th verse. So we got the 5th surah and the 90th verse. It says, let me see. Surah 5. 1 second. Okay, I'm in the wrong spot. Surah 5 and 90. Surah 5 and 90. Here we go. It says, "Oh, you who believe." Now, you hear that? And it's in big letters. "Oh, you who believe. Intoxicants." This is all kinds of alcoholic drinks. And gambling, and al-ashnab, and al-azlam. Arrows for seeking luck or decision are abominations of shaitan. Do y'all hear that? Handiwork. So it's saying, hold, let me keep going. So avoid that abominations in order that you may be. Now, hold on now. It just said in the 90th verse in the 5th surah to stay away from any intoxicating alcohol or any of that, because it is the handiwork of Hashaitan or Satan. Now, mind you, one thing I do know is I remember hearing Muslim teachers say I couldn't find the surah that there will be wine in paradise. So why would Satan's handiwork be in paradise or in heaven if wine is from Satan? Come on, man, it's crazy. So wine, strong drink, all that type of stuff. So you know it's a problem with this, because this means they couldn't keep the Passover if they wanted to, which is one of the most holiest, you know what I'm saying, annual holy days in the Torah. They couldn't even keep it, man, because they couldn't even drink no wine. They'll be around here trying to, just drink plain grape juice. And that ain't cool. This is not cool, man. This really sucks. But let's continue though. And matter of fact, you know what I want to do? You know what I want to do? I ain't gonna just keep beating up on the Quran. Now let's see what the Bible says. Because this is a good time. See, this is a good red carpet to lay out. Thank you, Quran. Thank you so much. Because what you just did with that crazy surah, saying on one hand you can drink, but just don't pray drunk. And then on the next chapter you say, well, no, don't drink because it's Satan's handiwork. Now watch this. This gives me a good segue to what the scripture says. Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 14th chapter. So this Deuteronomy, the 14th chapter. Deuteronomy 14. And let's pick it up. Let's see what God say when it's time to get it in. Deuteronomy 14 and verse 26. It says, hold up. I ain't even in Deuteronomy. I'm so frantic. Pardon the body. Deuteronomy 14. There you go. In 26. It says, and thou shalt bestow that money for whatsoever thy soul lusteth after. Of course, that means lawful lust. That's another misconception that the churches got y'all thinking all lust ain't bad. You ain't supposed to be lusting after no brother, wife, or nothing like that. But you can have a good lust. Lust just means desire. So it says, and thou shalt bestow that money for whatsoever thy soul lusteth after. For oxen, see, you might want you some oxtails, right? Or for sheep, you might want you some good old sheepy lamb shanks or something like that. Or for wine, or for strong drink. Strong drink. You might want some 1800 or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Now, y'all hear that? But if you listen to the churches, and if you compare it to a lot of the Muslims, they believe that drinking is a sin. No, overindulgence is a sin, and being an alcoholic is a sin. And I just like to prove it. Like I say, this gave me the perfect segue. I won't be that much longer. I actually only got like 2 little more spots to go to. And then I'm going to go ahead because I am kind of on a time restraint. And I know he wants to probably open up, let a couple of people on here. So let me see. Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter. Let's see what Ecclesiastes said. Let's see what my man Solomon said, the wisest man that ever heard. Do y'all got anybody in the Quran that was considered the wisest man on earth? Oh, man, no, I think they forgot that part. So let's see. Ecclesiastes, let me see. Ecclesiastes 10. Here we go right here. Ecclesiastes 10. Let's check it out. It says, Ecclesiastes 10 and 19. It says, a feast is made for laughter. So look, when we throw a feast as Hebrews, we expect to have some laughing and some fun. And you know what I'm saying? That's what we Israelites, man. That's so-called Negroes. We know how to do that. But watch what else it say. It's a feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry. You don't have to be busted. You can get married. You know, once you hit, you know your limit. Once you hit about that 3rd, 4th shot, you like, woo, you get that goofy feeling. You know, your eyes get all, people have the glossy eyes like they've been rubbing Vaseline on their pupil. They know they about had enough. They married, but they ain't stuttering, they ain't bumbling, they ain't falling, they ain't slobbing. You know what I'm saying? So look at this, right? It say, but money answereth for all things. So this lets you know we never had a problem with this, but apparently by the time it made it to the Quran centuries later, they just said, man, it is all from the devil. That's not cool. So let's stay here. Let's bag up to the 9th chapter, Ecclesiastes 9. See, Solomon knew about some drink, man. He knew about some drink, and he was wise. He could probably just go in the bathroom, get a bar of soap and some grapes and make some Louis the 13th. But watch this, though. Ecclesiastes 9 and 7. Check this out, y'all. It say, Go thy way, eat thy bread with joy. This is how we feast. When you go to a black, you got a barbecue. We got to have that bread or that meat, that food, them side orders. It says, and drink thy wine with a merry heart. This is what we talking about. For God now accepted thy works. Y'all hear that? How you gonna be a black man and even a holy black man or black woman and you can't even have a feast? Like, good grief. You ain't got to hire one every week. What you mean to tell me? We can't fire up the grill and bust down some beers, man? Come on, man. That's Satan. Now that's how Satan. I don't care what you say. That's how Satan. I'm out here dealing with these rebellious Negroes that don't want to follow no laws, statutes, and commandments. Don't nobody want to, you know what I'm saying? Brothers don't want to take care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? So you got sisters out here that think stripping is like, that then became the new entrepreneurship. You got, thieving is at a all time high. They got STDs out now, y'all, because won't nobody get married. Married is like dating now. Like, no, man, I ain't hollering at her no more, man. Her breath stink. So we got a divorce. Like, what? And so now you got STDs that will literally make you lose weight on your way to the crib. Like, you don't even got to wait for no months, no dialysis and none of that. You literally start losing weight while you leaving her crib. So if we was the institute, anyway, my fault, I got a little bit carried beside myself. But my point is, with all that going on and you out here trying to bring the truth, you should be able to get a little merry, man. Drink a little bit. You feel me? But I'm almost through. I know y'all like, man, he really putting emphasis on this drink. Because I might give me one before 12 o'clock hit. I've been dry and they got a little excited. So let's go to Isaiah, the 5th chapter. Now, here's why I'm getting serious at. Because this is what people need to read to see the separation between getting a little merry. So then if they had this understanding, that would not be in the Quran. Let's go to Isaiah, the 5th chapter. On a serious note now, let's go to the prophet Isaiah. Isaiah, the 5th chapter. Okay, bam. Here we go, right here. Isaiah 5 and let me see where it said. Isaiah 5 and 11. Here we go. It say, woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they might follow strong drink, that continue until night, till wine inflame them. That by definition, y'all, is an alcoholic. That's somebody that has to drink every day. If you imagine if somebody woke up every day and the first thing they did was grab a bottle. Like if you look in the New Testament, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Jesus, or was it the apostles when they was doing the tongues? But, they said, man, surely this man, this man got to be drunk because he was speaking in another language. He said, it's not even the 3rd hour. So if it ain't the 3rd hour from morning when you getting up, if it ain't the 3rd hour, you shouldn't be tipping no hard cups, man. That's what the book say. I know people battle with stuff. I've battled with it myself. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody had some little vice. You got pothead brews. You got, you got lush brews. You got, I put brew on everything. You got brews that's addicted to a lot of stuff out here, man. They might be some good people, but they just got something wrong with them. Like, this brother's running around here on the low, addicted to porn. You'd be surprised the type of, the type of counseling that people hit you up with. And you can't just be judgmental with it. You try to bring the book to them, give them a solution. Anything can be cleared up. Because at the end of the day, if you put anything before the Most High, that has become your God on a serious note. That's where idolatry come in at. So this is where the drinking goes bad. When you are alcoholic, therefore, it makes it a sin. And what was the last place I wanted to go? Okay. Yeah, just to make it clearer, I'm going to go to the New Testament, 1 Corinthians 5. 1 Corinthians 5. Yeah, buddy. 1 Corinthians 5 and 11. 1 Corinthians 5 and 11. Here we go, right here. But now I have written unto you not to keep company if any man that is called a brother be a fornicator. Look, y'all, these are people you ain't supposed to hang out with. This ain't supposed to be your regular circle. Now, I didn't write this, but it's true. It says, it's called a brother, so don't let nobody be talking about that's my bro, you know, we tight like that. If he's a fornicator or covetous or an idolater or a railer or a drunkard or an extortioner, with such and one know not to eat. And so, and that extortioner was good too. There'd be a lot of extortion going on in the conscious community, but cats still, you know, let them on their platforms and, you know, trying to say, I ain't gonna say no names. It ain't nobody over here. But so, you know what I'm talking about, but I ain't gonna say no names, you know. So if you followed this, we would not have, our communities would be better. You know what I'm saying? Our homes would be better. Oh man, you just said it, Yolanda. I didn't say it. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, world. Yeah, y'all is off the chain. I didn't say nothing, but anyway, yeah, man. So I got 2 more spots, and I'm done, brother. Solar. 2 more spots. My company, you know, I do got company waiting out there. I ain't gonna just jet straight off though. I'm gonna stay on for a little while longer. Let me see, and this is my last one I want to bring out, but I had to end it with that because, you know, when I'm reading this, I'm like, wow, this thing even went over to the Quran, because I've heard that claim a lot. I remember when I was dealing with the Moorish thing, we had a thing where we just couldn't drink on the, you know, on the holy day, on the holy night or whatever. And before any service, we couldn't drink. You know what I'm saying? But I never understood really where they got that from. Now, here's one last thing I would like to point out, because this all goes back to what would make us a better community, right? And if you go to the 4th surah, let's check something out real quick. Let's go to the 4th surah. The 4th surah. Oh, dang, my bad, I'm in the Torah. I done been in the surah so much, it's starting to, God forbid, it's starting to look like my Bible. So let's go to surah, the 4th chapter. The 4th chapter. Where we at, baby? Where we at? The 4th chapter. Surah 4. So here we go. Surah 4. And where's that? There we go. The 15th verse. Let's pick this up. I want to end it with explore, taking a look at this real quick. So this is the 4th surah and the 15th verse, right? Listen to this. Sounds honorable. And those of your women who commit illegal sexual intercourse, take the evidence of 4 witnesses from amongst you against them, and if they testify, confine them to houses until death comes to them, or Allah ordains for them some other way. Woo, hold on one second, y'all. Man, I ain't gonna lie. When I first read this, I laughed so hard, and I'm sorry, I'm not laughing. Man, look, I gotta keep it funky. Joe, this got to be the oldest house arrest I've ever heard of. They said if you got caught doing some illicit sexual acts with fornication, adultery, it says put them on house arrest, y'all, until they die. Now, hold on, man. Now, you know, nowadays they got that little ankle bracelet, right? God forbid we had some brothers and sisters in that situation with that ankle bracelet. So I'm wondering back then, like, what did they have? Like a pigeon? Did they have like a carrier pigeon with like some vines tied around their ankle? And so when they went about 100 yards from the hut, you know, the bird just started chirping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was they for? Like, did they have like some ancient form of the box in the crib that started blinking once you go like 50 yards from your house? I mean, I don't know, but that would have been interesting to check out. Because, oh yeah, I got to read it again. I see you in the chat. I'm going to read it again, bro. It literally says put them on house arrest. Verse 15. And those of your women who commit illegal sexual intercourse, take the evidence of 4 witnesses from amongst you against them, and if they testify, confine them to houses until death comes to them, or Allah ordains for them some other way. So the good thing is, Allah might send a messenger. I don't know how that was going to happen, but only thing can happen good for them is that Allah would have to make a clear message that, okay, you know, you could let them off early house arrest. You know what I'm saying? But I guess that would be their parole. You see what I'm saying? But let's check this out. And you know, we got laws in the Torah about, like, if you kill somebody on accident, you had a city of refuge. See, that type of stuff, all that type of stuff would literally help in a society. It was like the witness protection program almost. You see what I'm saying? But you know, so I guess I can't trip too much on house arrest. But let's check this out. Now remember, if you committed a sexual act, and this was really talking about the woman at the end, she had to get on house arrest. Now watch this. Let's go to the 24th surah. The 24th surah. Man, this is a very, very, very interesting text. I'm talking about the whole Quran is extremely interesting. I do see why a lot of people gravitate towards it, though. You know, it's just sad that it put out that challenge in the beginning, and a Jake like me, I am all for it. This is the 24th surah, y'all, and I'm gonna pick it up at verse 2. Let's see what this says about fornicators if you put them on house arrest. It says, the fornication, and this is, and mind you, if you notice, this is always these that I read, I directed towards the women. That one that I just read. Now watch this. The fornicatress, damn, that's a new word. Not the fornicator. It say the fornicatress. You get it? Like the female fornicator. It says, here come the dude, and the fornicator, flog each of them with 100 stripes. Let not pity withhold you in their case, and a punishment prescribed by Allah. If you believe in Allah in the last day, and let a party of the believers witness their punishment, this punishment is for unmarried persons guilty of the above crime, illegal sex. But if married persons committed illegal sex, the punishment is to stone them to death. According to Allah's law, the adulterous fornicator marries not, but an adulterous fornicatress, or a musharuka, and the adulterous fornicatress non-marries her except an adulterous fornicator, or a mushrik. And that means that the man who agrees to marry, have a sexual relation with, right, mushrik, female, polytheist, pagan, idolatrous, or prostitute, then surely he is either an adulterer, fornicator, or mushrik, polytheist, pagan, or idolater. And the woman who agrees to marry, have a sexual relationship with, a mushrik, polytheist, pagan, or idolater, or an adulterer, fornicator, then she is either a prostitute or a mushrik, female, polytheist, such and such these things forbidden to the believers. So it tells you on this one, don't put them on house arrest, stone them to death. So they're going back to the Torah. It says stone them to death or beat them 100 times. Beat them 100 times. Beat them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're out there being freaky. Now, I didn't really have too much of a problem with that one. It's just, I think it's kind of interesting. So my whole thing was to take up the challenge that was presented by the Holy Quran to find contradictions. And I believe I've been able to do so. Now, some of them, as my dear brother pointed out earlier, could very well just be a misunderstanding of the translation. But some of them, I would damn hell not fall for it in any language. It didn't make no sense. It went against what it said just earlier. And so with that, my brothers and sisters, I am done. If he wants, my brother Dear Solar, if he wants to let a couple of people on, I could definitely pull about another 25 minutes or so, because I definitely have to be somewhat of a host. My
Yeah,
company can't.
yeah, we'll leave it up to the members of the debate league because there's not too many Muslims in the debate league. So if you got a comment or if you want something to say, um, y'all know what to do. Hit the one button. Hit the one button. I'm pretty sure most of these guys, if they didn't know, they pretty much is gonna agree with you blindly. Because most of these guys are not Muslim anyway. So hit the one
Well,
button if you want to come in the building, though. Hit the one button if you want to come in the building. Oh, Syed Al Mahdi. Uh-oh.
that's the brother I was just talking to, right?
No. That's Yakim the Semitic that you was talking to.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we got outside the cube. He hit the one button. So
I knew,
I gotta hit the button now since he got
I knew.
about maybe 20 minutes. So,
Yeah, I got about 20 because I do got like I said, I got to pay host the company. They thought they was coming for the debate. They did listen to the lesson, but now people got to start moving around. So, but I definitely enjoyed it.
Hounds are coming, brother. Yeah, we're gonna allow these brothers to talk for for a little bit before we close this thing out. Shout out to Mikhail for actually doing his presentation, um, to fill up some airspace that was created because somebody's running on the Solar Vision Debate League. Oh yes, there are runners.
Oh,
There are track
say that.
stars. Jesse Owens. I gotta put his face on Jesse Owens. He's a good track star runner. He's one of the best. It's like no, the brother was a no call no show, so we'll see what's up with him because they always pop up the day after like, oh yeah, what had happened was, yeah, okay, brother. You come the day after, you don't. It's not looking too good for you, buddy. So, once again, shout out to brother Mikhail for his presentation. And what we're going to do now is we're going to send out this link so you guys can speak with the brother. And then we're going to close this thing out. I would say, man, it's probably good that he didn't show up. Because, he wouldn't have been ready for those arguments. He may not have been ready for that. Trying to explain away those contradictions. That'd have been a hell of a rebuttal round for him, buddy. That'd have been one hell of a rebuttal round for him. So let me go ahead and send out this link real quick. And tomorrow, Out the Blue is going to be back in the building. He's going to close up his season with debate with brother Yahukinan. I believe the brother is now 5-2, so he's trying to close out with a. Hopefully, if he could get the win over Yahukinan, close out the season with a 6-2 record. So the topic of that debate is: can the righteous atone for the wicked? I like those debates. I like those Daniel 9 and can the righteous atone for the wicked debates. I like those, the Isaiah 53 debates. Yeah. Oh, he actually cut. Oh, wow. He actually, you know what? The brother actually just got in contact with me and said he will come on, but it's too late now, brother. You can't. But thanks for actually responding. But we will let you on to ask a couple of questions, brother Syed, and solving the race. Outside the cube. outside the cube want to come in the building. So let me shoot the link at these brothers. And brother Mikhail, you know, he's definitely going to be a problem in the playoffs. Hopefully he can get all his 8 debates in. He has 4 now with a 3-1 record. So hopefully he could get a few more in before the playoffs so that he could actually make the best chances of his seeding. Because, you know, it's the requirement is 6, but it would be best if you get 8, especially if you have a record that has very few losses. You know, so he only has 1 loss, so it'll be incumbent if you want to get some debates where he chooses a topic that he actually get the 8 games in. So the link has been sent out, people. This is the Solar Vision Debate League. I know what you're gonna say. Yeah. I'm too violent, man. I think that's what it is. I'm too violent.
Oh, what I say, honey?
Huh?
Oh, my fault. I didn't know I was off mute. I was talking to the lady. Hey, but yeah, man. Oh, well, okay. That go outside the cube, but I know he gets started. He gonna talk me to death. I got 10 minutes outside.
All right, well, I'm out there, man. Have a good night, bro. Nah, I'm messing with you.
Yeah, I know that ain't happening with you.
What's up, man?
That's good. It's good to see you.
Mikhail, you doing the Bart Simpson right now, brother. You trying to get the fuck up out of there.
Yeah, that nigga trying to get up out of there. Hey, but now let me ask you this. You know, first and foremost, you know, I think it was a good presentation, and I think any Muslim, you know, I don't think they would take those questions and be able to just skate past all those questions easily. I think you made some good arguments with what you brought up. But what would you say? What would you say when Muslims say that Islam is a religion of peace? Like, what's your take on that? Like, is Islam a religion of peace?
Well, honestly, bro, you know, I hear that a lot. Islam, you know, that's like a public statement, especially, you know, with the Gentile, this system being acting like they so terrified of Islam all of a sudden. Like they ain't did as much terror, if not more, than the next religion, you know, speaking of Judeo-Christianity. And so I think they really have to put that on the forefront, that Islam is a religion of peace, because it's almost become like the second nigga in the room, if you know what I mean. We gonna always be number one.
No, I don't know what you mean.
Okay, what I mean by that is normally when we're around other groups of people, and this may not go for everybody, but collectively, we are the one that is the eye, you know, gets the eye of suspect as Black people, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? But if someone who looks Middle Eastern looking, I'm using generic terms that they use today, or Arab looking, or has a turban, or if a woman gets on with a hijab or something, people will be like, oh man, you know, that might be the only person that'll make them kind of take their attention off you. So I think it is almost a necessity for them to promote Islam as a religion of peace, because ain't nothing worse than scary white people. If they scared, they're gonna react to it. So I think that's one reason. Now, you know, rather if you ask me if that's a historical truth, I don't really see any group that's or a religion that's a spiritual system really that has not fought wars, that has not killed people. So I mean, it's really kind of hard for me to, you know, that's basically my outlook.
So it's hard to say yes or no. And if you did have to say yes or no, what would you say?
Well, if I had to say it, I would say it is peaceful people in Islam, but Islam overall, uh, it has its atrocities. Damn, that kind of sound like double talk. I would
Yeah,
say,
it is.
yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is. Like Solomon said, I'm a little rusty. I ain't debated in a while. Okay, overall, no.
All right. So let me ask you this then: if you can say that Islam is not a religion of peace, the time that your God, excuse me, yeah, your God was telling the Israelites to go and just brutalize and murder Canaanites for no apparent reason other than he said so, would you be able to market Israelitism as a religion of peace during the time that the Israelites were murdering and brutalizing the Canaanites?
Well, of course, my normal generic response is going to be that it's not a religion. But if you use that, if okay, just to use it for the argument's sake, no, I wouldn't say that. I would say that those who uphold it, if they uphold it correctly, which is the Torah, my Israelite ancestors, yes, we lived in peace. Now, for the opposing people that he sent us on, no, it wouldn't be peace. Nope, it would not at all. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Nope.
So, would it be fair to say that when your God told the Israelites to murder ruthlessly and brutalize those Canaanites, would it be fair to say that some Israelites also died when they were murdering and brutalizing the Canaanites?
Well, it's actually a scripture that tells you at times when we went, we didn't lose. We wouldn't even lose a man. That was when we was in real good grace with the Most High. Real.
Yeah, but I'm talking about overall. Like
Yeah,
you
that was
guys lost,
casualties of war. Yeah, we had
right?
casualties of war. Yeah.
All right. So would you be able to say it's a religion of peace? Well, what I'm saying is, how can you say it's a religion of peace if you're murdering, brutalizing people, and people on your side are also dying? How can it be a religion of peace?
Well, I never really made the claim that it was a religion of peace. You
No,
actually,
no, 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 no. What I'm asking is, because you just said that Islam is not a religion of peace. So what I'm
right?
asking you is, during the time of the Canaanites, when your God ordered the Israelites to kill, maim, brutalize, and ruthlessly murder the women, children, and babies, would you be able to market that as a religion of peace when people on the Israelite side were dying and the majority of the Canaanites were dying? Would you be able to market that as a religion of peace?
No.
Thank you, bro. Go ahead, Saeed, if you have a question. He's just been impeached.
Thank you, outside the cube, for that outstanding
That
intro.
was really funny, and my fault, brother. Let me just
Good,
say, response.
good brother. You want to respond back to Cube?
Yeah, I want to respond back
Okay,
to.
go ahead. Yeah.
Cube do this kind of stuff. I don't know if y'all familiar with Solar Division Bakery. Now he really gonna act like he just did something. When everybody know me, Solar Mind told you, and my debates when it comes to question and answering, I don't bite my tongue. No, I wouldn't say that it was a religion of peace. I say what the books say, if you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, that you will live long and be peaceful. But in a time of war, it is a time of war. There will be casualties. So I don't know how that's impeachment. That's just me keeping it real. So no, I wouldn't
Well,
promote it as a religion of peace. No, I just wouldn't. I
well,
would actually teach that it's not.
well. Only thing I was just making clear was that you have a religion as well as Muslims have a religion, and if you can say that they don't have a religion of peace, then you can also say that you have a religion of peace when you also have that history of maiming and the same brutality. That's all I did, and
Oh,
consider
that's
yourself
cool. That's cool.
impeached.
No, that's
Consider
cool.
yourself impeached.
Yeah, I hear you. I know you still butt hurt from that beat down I gave you. But look, the truth of the matter is, I never made that claim. You did. I said that their religion wasn't a religion of peace, and ours not either. Ours just the truth. So
Brother,
if
you
that,
okay? Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah,
So, brother, brother Mikhail, yeah, I overheard you saying some things about my religion, and I just had to come on here and make things clear, so that way, those in the audience, what I mean, will know indeed that you're a liar. So now, in terms of what you had said, there were three things that I had heard, but I want to make sure I indicate some scriptures just to just to lay the foundation. So in chapter 2 of verse number 106, Allah says, "Whatever so I abrogate from a verse or let it remain, I bring something better than it or similar in its likeness. So when you have made the reference, the first thing in terms of how we deal with our women when they're fornicating, and how we, retain them in the houses, you must understand that during the time of the revelation, there were two periods known as the Medina verses and the Meccan verses. So now, when the prophet was just starting his movement, preaching and all of these things, and the followers that were with him, this is called the time of the Meccan verses because all the scriptures were revealed during this time. So you had read a verse that was revealed during the Meccan period. There was no central government. There was no, place that we can actually establish, our judicial purposes or establish, our judgments because we had no government. But when the prophet was establishing his city in Medina, this is when we actually received that verse from Surah Nur, as you had read from 24, when we gave him 100 lashes. So I'm just trying to get you to understand, like, you think that this is a contradiction, but this scripture was revealed in a process of 23 years, and half of the preaching of Muhammad was in Mecca, and then the other half was in Medina. So I want you to understand that, and the people in the audience, that this revelation came as a evolutionary thing. Now, the second thing that you also said was that there's contradiction.
Hold on, beloved. Before you get to the second one, because I don't want you to run off a long one, and I have to try to remember what all you were addressing. Let me address that one. Okay, I am familiar with the history of that, and I would actually counter and say, can you prove that a place Mecca even existed during the time of Muhammad, or is it Becca? I do know a little bit about it, but I was into the more science back in the days. And so that would be a whole nother argument right there. And not the fact that they were facing the east before Mecca was even there. So who was they praying to? But that's another story. But what I do wonder is, how far back did you catch this this broadcast? Because for you to pick them out of all the ones I named when I started, I think that's, I'm just wondering what part did you come in at? Did you come in at that part?
Well, like I said, if you were listening, there were three things that I caught. So you just heard one thing.
Okay. Go ahead, brother. My bad.
All right. Now, in terms of the city, Mecca, we're talking about the city of the Black Stone. And this is not something that is hard to imagine. Indeed, there were 360 pagan deities in the holy Kaaba. So we're talking about the same city. If you want to put an M or a B, we're talking about that city. And in this city, when he was preaching, he received the scripture to keep the wives in the house until death, because he was not yet with the centralized government. So this is called the Meccan verses. Now, the second thing that you had made mention of in terms of the creation of man and how you use different verses from the Quran to contradict one and the other. But I just ask you one simple question, because the Quran is a book of logic. You see, Allah says, "Dhikr Allah," remember to think, because the concept of thinking allows one to be rational. So now you said in one verse where Allah had mentioned, "I made man from mud." And then you mentioned another verse where Allah says, "I made man from liquid." But now, if you think about it closely, when you're thinking about mud, how do you make mud, my brother? What do you need? What are the material things that you need to make mud?
From that question, I can actually tell that you heard certain things, because I am with logical thinking. And if you heard everything I said, and I said it repeatedly, you can go back and watch. I said that I know that this is not a strong argument, but when I bring these up, they'll try to play with it, because they can say, well, the blood comes from the sea, which comes from the water, which comes from the mud, which is just wet earth. I did say that, right? I said that. Let me get that point out the way. And second, I want you to rewind something that you just said. You threw it out there real smooth too. I like that. When you brought up the 360 deities, you are referring to the 360 Persian deities that they were worshiping. See, I didn't want to do this to somebody that wasn't on here ready, but I'm gonna just say it because I ain't got that much time. I wish you would have came on earlier, but let me say this. When you brought up those 360 deities, you actually just opened up another door, which might be a problem for you, because let me ask you a question now, my brother. is it true that Muhammad was the first, let's say, when I say Muslim, I mean as far as founder or prophet of the practicing religion of Islam?
Negative.
Okay, so you're going to say Adam was, and Moses was, and Abraham was, right?
Indeed.
Okay, cool. Now we still got a problem, because apparently, now this is even according to some hadiths and your Quran, that Muhammad came on the scene, right? He came on the scene to get the Ishmael tribes together, or the you could use the term what was Abraham's wife's name? Ishmael's mother.
Hagar.
Say it again.
Hagar.
Yeah, Hagar, or the Hagarines. Because you know you had two divisions. You had, of course, they were all Ishmaelites, but you had some that went under the Hagarines, some went under the Ishmaelites, and then you had another group, right? And I'm familiar with the Sunni and the Shiites, and one feel that one's is the true heir to Muhammad and all that type of stuff. I'm not that much of a novice in it. But let me say this. Now, my thing is, if Muhammad truly was the one to bring this form of worship to those people, my question would be, how is it then, when you admitted yourself that there was 360 deities before this new form of Islam, right? And my question is, how is it that Muhammad's father himself name was Abdullah? Does not Abdullah mean slave to Allah? So how could he be a slave to Allah before Muhammad even brought that on the scene?
Because it's simple. The conceptualization of worship, brother. What you must understand is that everyone who's living on the face of the earth today is a descendant of Noah. So the conceptualization of worship, the science of how we understand God and how to worship God, was known by all the three sons. However, as time progressed, the concepts changed. In Egypt, they have their own way of understanding the concept of Tawheed. And in Arabia, the same concept changed. So Muhammad just came back to bring it back, to bring the truth back, to bring this ideology back in order. So that's how, brother.
Okay, but I mean, you don't have to sound, you don't have to sound so detest at me.
Hey, can I get a question before?
Hold on, brother. This is one more. I just want to get one more and then I'm done. The reason why I sound like this, brother, is because you lying on the Quran. And I have
lying on the Quran when I just read it.
Because I'm an Ishmaelite, bro. Just by the way, I am an Ishmaelite. My bloodline goes back to Ishmael. And the way you tried to attribute the Ishmaelites to them brothers in the bodegos, those are not Ishmaelites, man. You know what I mean? No.
Oh, you talking about the diluted, whiter looking version as opposed to the more.
It sounded like that's what you were talking about. It sounded like you was trying to refer to the Ishmaelites as being that brother who looked like the brother from Bart, the Simpsons, Abu. That's not Ishmaelite, bro.
Okay.
Now, I'm just trying Abu was an East Indian, right?
But that's what most brothers in America, in terms of how they see Ishmaelite and Ishmaelite imagery as those brothers.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to make it clear that those are not the Ishmaelites.
But I wouldn't. To be honest with you, I wouldn't even try to debate you as far as, are those the original Ishmaelites? Do they got Ishmaelite blood mingled in them and things of that nature? Ain't no way you could deny that. But if you saying they are the ones of antiquity, I wouldn't even try to debate you with that, bro. I wouldn't
if they have their blood, why wouldn't they be original? That makes no sense.
All right, here you go with your that brother knew what I meant. He know what I mean.
Hey, Saeed, go ahead with your last question. Let me get my last question, and we can let the brother go.
So basically, so you already knew about the whole concept of the man being created from all these elements, and it was a process. So that's already, that's taken care of. Now the last and final thing I want to deal with is in terms of this intoxication verses that you brought up. Now the reality is anything that poisons is considered khamr in Islam. So anything that is a poison kills you. Now, when Allah is talking about the wine that is going to be given to the believers in the Akhirah and Jannah, this is a type of wine that does not intoxicate. He also made reference to a verse where the Lord is telling the man who's preparing himself for salat that he should not come to salat until he is able to speak or able to retain his mind. See, this is the same thing as a man who gets taken by the police into the station to sober up. See, the reality of praying to Allah in a pure state is when you're sobered. So, you know, it's like, I don't know, you're trying to make it seem as if we can drink liquor and be praying to Allah. You know what I mean? And the reality is Allah never, you know, gave the license for us to do such a thing. The Lord told us to come when we're in the state of, you know, tahara, purification. So there must be a sobering up. And I just had to make it clear that, you know, you didn't really make any you didn't bring out any contradictions in the Quran. It's just your lack of understanding of knowing how the revelation came. And our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, came to explain exactly what these verses mean in this esoteric.
Okay, well, I can go with esoteric, but let me say this again because you did it twice. And if we were debating, this would be considered a self-inflicted wound. You just blew two of your toes off. Because you said earlier the same thing that you just said again, which I could tell that, you know, with all due respect, my brother, was not paying close attention. I literally just said about the when we were talking about the drinking thing, when I read it, I said I can understand not praying to God drunk. Like, hey, y'all in the chat, if y'all heard me saying this, could y'all please put a one up? Because now I'm thinking the brother just wants to get on here and be heard. Because I literally said that, and I said it twice. My strong point was the next verse that I read, which you did not address. You see what I'm saying? And let me say this. If you're saying that it's so esoteric, that's kind of like our book, Song of Solomon, that is esoteric. And if you don't understand the Tanakh, you know what I'm saying, or Hebraic speech, you would not understand it. But this seems more like baby food, my brother. Because when I brought up the second surah in the 29th verse about Allah supposedly creating earth and people before he created the seven heavens, you didn't address that. Because when it turns right around in the 79th surah, it says he created the heavens first. Now you tell me, is that esoteric or is that a mistranslation?
Chapter 2, what?
That is the 79th surah.
No, the first verse.
Oh, the first one was the second surah in the 29th verse. That was second surah 29. And the contradiction to that is the 79th surah 27 through 30. You don't need to know Arabic to see that.
The Lord says, "It is I who created for you everything in the earth."
Keep going.
You said that the man came before the earth. Is that what your argument was?
No, it says that.
What was the argument before you read chapter 2?
It says that the earth came. He said that he created the earth and then he created the heavens, the seven heavens to be exact.
No, the Lord says in Arabic, "Huwa alladhina khalaqa lakum." When you say lakum, it means for you. This is something that belongs. It's an inheritance right. The Lord says, "Huwa," which means I or he. Ladhina hu khalaqa, created, lakum, for you. Ma represents everything. Fi al-ard, the earth. Everything in the earth is man's possession. The trees, the fruit, the everything that is created is ours. It's our property.
I got that.
So the Lord created everything in the earth for us as provision. So your argument was that the Lord created the man before the earth. Is that what you tried to just argue?
Brother, I just said it 3 times. It says he created the earth, and then it says he created the heavens. But when you go now,
that's not what the Lord said. The Lord said, "I created for you everything in the earth for you." We're not talking about the order of creation, bruh. We're not talking about the order of creation. We're talking about everything that the Lord created.
Brother. Okay. Finish reading. I read the whole thing.
All right.
No cherry picking.
Jami'an altogether. Thumma, then astawa, I rose to the heavens. Fasawwahunna, and it is I who knows everything. 7. The Lord rose above 7 heavens. After the Lord did this, the Lord rose above 7 heavens.
Okay.
This is the order. This is what the Lord did.
So which one did he create first? According to that, what you just read, and I understand you get into the Arabic, and that's why our scriptures tell us if a man speaks another tongue, have an interpreter. Because if not, you're edifying yourself and not the people. It's basically to make you look smart. But my point is, on what we just read, which order did he say he created what first? Was it the earth or earth, or was it the... Because right after you go to that, and I see you will not address the 79th surah in the 27 through 30, it says he created the heavens first and then the earth.
That's because you use 2 verses that are not relating to the same thing. See, in this verse, the Lord is talking about what the Lord created in the earth for man. We're talking about what belongs to the man. We're not talking about the Lord creating the earth first and then the heaven, or the heaven first or the earth second. This is not what this verse is addressing. So you use the verse that had nothing to do with the order of creation, and then you use the verse that had something to do with the order of creation, and then you said this is the contradiction. But I just read it in Arabic. Huwa alladhina khalaqa lakum, belonging to you. Anyone who has the Quran, you can go on Quran.com, and then you can pull up this ayat, and you can go from each word and click the word, and it'll say for you, U-N-R. It'll tell you exactly, precisely what these words mean. It has nothing to do with the earth being created, bro. It just has something to do with
okay, cool. Okay, I'll let you try to slide that one off, you know, because you know I gotta bounce. But I'm gonna tell you this,
it has nothing to do with sliding. You letting me slide. It's the fact that I have to defend my faith, and you can't.
I don't have a problem with that. Like that. You should contend for the faith. You know, don't get emotional. You will be all right. You can contend for the faith. I've been doing this 20.
It's not really emotion. It's just compassion, brother. That's all it is.
Okay, but that's right. We call it zeal. That's a good thing. Zeal is a good.
All right. Say you spanked them enough. Say you spanked them enough.
Hold on, damn. Let me say this.
The brother's 20 minutes is
it's up. And I'm gonna leave with this. Hold on,
I thought you were gonna let me get my last question, bro.
All right, hold on. All right, I'm gonna let you get your last one. Let me just say this to that brother before he departs. Hopefully, we will be having a dialogue in the future very soon coming up. So he'll be able to bring, you know, all of his Arabic and all that. I hope you have a translator and all that type of stuff so everybody understand, because sometimes it's just like try to make you sound fancy. But look at this. Why you doing this too? I hope you be able to address which one was the first Muslim, Muhammad, Adam, Abraham, or Moses. Because according to the Quran, whether you read it in Chinese, ancient Atlantean, or damn it, lizard talk, it names 4 different individuals. Muhammad is the first. Muhammad himself declares to be the first Muslim. Adam is a Muslim, was the first Muslim. We know Adam would have to been the first. Abraham is the Muslim, and Moses was the first Muslim. And I know the generic term, well, you know, that's just, you know, submit to the will of God. All of them submitted to the will of God. But which one was the first if they're all saying that the first? So we can deal with that whenever we have our time. Go ahead, brother, outside the cube.
All right, yeah, peace. You know, once again, I gotta say, you know, I'm not a scholar when it comes to Islam. So just based on, you know, the layman ears, I think you did a good job with your presentation. And
bro.
No problem. And like I said, even before, I think that when a actual Muslim gets on, some of the things that you said, it wouldn't be that easy to explain away. But with that being said, you said as far as the creation when it came to the Quran, you said, one story, I think it was 19, I wrote it down. You said it mentions how like Allah created man out of nothing, and then you went somewhere else. I think Surah 95 when you said that he created man out of blood. So I want to know, how does that differ when it's like a two-part question. So like, how does that differ when it comes to the God of the Bible? When I'm talking about creation, because would you agree that the God of the Bible created man, the earth, the so-called heavens, which we haven't found, and all of these different things out of nothing? So isn't that the same thing that the Quran is saying?
Yeah, on that level, it would be. On that level, it would be. But the reason I named so many versions of it is because, like I even brought up, to be honest with you, that's not the first time I had a conversation with another Islamic brother about, and that was during the time that I was still somewhat dabbling with Islam. And so his breakdown was similar. But what he got tripped up at was when I asked him, well, okay, well, it says we created man. So in certain surahs, when it say we created man, and then it says from blood, and then it says from clay, and then it says from nothing, then it says from water, and then it says from such and such and such and such. The simple way of that, when you deal with the Torah, it tells us how the Most High created man, meaning
Explain
the species.
That's what I was.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, I knew what you was asking. It explains how he created man, meaning the species, meaning the first man, and that would have been the earth. After that, you know what the Bible, or better sheet Genesis, does to make it clear? He puts up a genealogy system or a begot system. So you'll see things like in such and such begot such and such. So now he's putting the creation on man himself. You see what I'm saying? People don't understand.
Hold on. I don't want to let you get too far, brother. I apologize.
Procreate. He doesn't procreate.
Yeah. Hold on. I apologize. I don't want to let you get too far. I wanted you, because you said that you were going to explain how God created man. Like, how did he do it? Because what I'm proposing is the same thing that you read in the Quran, is that he created out of nothing. So are you saying that you agree that the God of the Bible did the same thing that Allah did and created man out of nothing?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that he created man out of nothing.
So how did he do it then? So how did he do it? So how did the God of the Bible do it then?
It says he created him from the earth, the dirt of the ground. And you know why I can prove that scientifically? If you see, I have a herbalist and a nutritionist. A lot of us in the Hebrew community have those. We try to stay away from pharmaceuticals. I threw that in there. There's a marketing. But just to let you know, when you start studying things like your blood, right? They'll have they have something called your age and your biological age, meaning how old you are from birth and how old your body actually is due to how you treat it, wear and tear. And when you look at one of the things that rejuvenates us or repairs our bodies are the things from the earth: colloid silver, copper, gold. Now, it is not a coincidence that you already have these elements in your body. And not to a degree where you just breathe in some chips and it got in there and it's set. No, they're deep inside your core. Why are they there? Because they're evidence that you were taken from the earth. So the same minerals that are in the earth are actually in the human body. So yes, I could explain that easy. I actually had things I used to do called science of the Bible. So that's no problem. I can explain how my God, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob created a man. There won't be no contradictions in it.
Well, I'm still actually waiting on you to do it, but you're going into herbology.
Well, I mean, if you want me to take another 2 hours, which you know I can't do.
Oh, okay. I apologize. I apologize if I didn't mean a 2 hour answer. But let me say this though.
With that being said, we're gonna move forward.
Hold on, I got one more. Hold on, please. Let me get this one more. I swear this won't take more than 30 seconds. I promise this won't take more than 30 seconds.
I promise. He got to attend to his company. He made that clear. So we already know what it was, brother. So we're gonna allow the brother to go ahead and close out, and we're gonna close this thing out with Brother Mikhail with the final word. Go ahead, Brother Mikhail.
Okay, thank you, my brother, beloved brother, Solar Mind. Shout out to all the Solar Vision Debate League audience. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all enjoyed yourself. I hope it was edifying to somebody. And like I say, when it comes to these type of things, man, people can get in the ring and square up, because in the end of the day, we've been defending the Bible since we have subscribed to it. So it's nothing for us to do it, because for the most part, it defends itself, especially if it's properly used. But it's time for these other people that make all these claims to start defending what they got in their books or what they have in their belief systems, whether it's inside their brain or whatever. And so, yeah, like, so basically, I just like to say that, of course, the scriptures is, in my humble opinion, the best tool for our community. You know what I'm saying? I wish that the brother would have been able to make it here and we could have had us a nice debate. I believe it would have been very interesting, but I was able to give a presentation. Now, what I can do as far as the argument league, I have some things to take care of in the morning tomorrow, but after that, I will more than likely slide in, because I'm subscribed, and check out the conversation, and I may jump on the panel. So if our Muslim brother who's on here now, who feels a little like I slighted the understanding of Islam in the Quran because nobody was here to really defend it in a debate with me, if he comes on while I'm on there, we can get on there and talk, because I think Solar Mind, even though, and those that know me, I said I was playing possum a little bit for a reason. You want to get into the whole history of the Quran, its origins? Did it come from the book of Jasher or Yeshua? I have not met a Muslim yet that would debate me on that. And I know why. Because either they haven't read the book of Jasher, and they don't know the timelines of which one precedes who, or that's one thing. Or if you want to debate, did the Catholic Church create Islam? And who was Muhammad's first wife? Where did she come from? Any of these type of things from 300 AD to 600 AD to the 8th century, was there ever a recording whatsoever that was actually recorded from Muhammad? Was it a contemporary scribe there that actually brought that over like it was in our book that I can prove? So if people want to really take the gloves off and get into this, I've been ready for it for years. So I hope you know pre-Arabic Arab, modern Arab, ancient Arab, and futuristic Arab, because you're going to need to know something if you want to step in this ring and really talk about the origins of this Quran. So with that, I say all praises to the Most High. Check out my channel, of course, Hebrews in the Hood. That's Hebrews with a Z at the end. You can also check out my channel, which is very small, Mikhail Yisrael. My Walls of Jericho channel will be coming out, and Brews in the Hood part 2 will also be coming out. And for the sisters, you need to check out Sister for Sister. You spell it SISTAH 4 Sisters. It's a nice little channel for the She Brew. So with that, I say peace.
All right. Shout out to my man, Brother Mikhail, for dropping the science. And shout out to Brother Sayyid Al-Mahdi and Brother Outside the Cube for coming in and hitting them with some very, very tough questions. So with that being said, we're going to get up out of here. Make sure you hop over there to the Argument League. They're already over there doing a thing. Shout out to Suave Boss. And we'll see you over there on the other side. Until then, peace. And be on the lookout for the debate tomorrow between Out the Blue and Brother Yahukanan. That topic is going to be, can the righteous atone for the wicked? So make sure you be in the building tomorrow for that. This has been another edition of Solar Vision Debate League.